If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. It would really help the channel, and we have battle reports, boarding actions, and list videos every week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. This video is an overview of the 2 detachments for the Grey Knights for the Boarding Actions 10th edition. The 2 detachments is the Void Purge Force and the Baneslayer Strike. We will go through the Detachment Rule, the Enhancements, and the Stratagems for each detachment. Each detachment has a list of allowed units with some rules adaptations for those units. I will include an example list for each detachment as well. The Grey Knights Boarding Actions Army Rule, Eye of the Prognosticars. Units from the army with the Teleport Assault ability, replace that ability with this one. Each time you target this unit with a stratagem, roll 1d6, adding 1 to the result if the unit is within range of an objective marker you control. On a 5+, you gain 1 CP. We will start with the Void Purge Force. An urgent duty is the Detachment Rule. Add 1 to the advance and charge rolls made for Grey Knights units from your army. And each detachment does have a list of allowed units when you're building your list, so you're going to use these allowed units and the current field Minotaurum for the points to build lists. You may include up to 2 of the following units. Duplicates are not allowed. Brother Captain Stern, the Brotherhood Champion, Brotherhood Chaplain, Librarian, the Tech Marine, Castellan Crow, Grandmaster Voldus, and Caldor Drago. Then you can include up to 3 of the following units, a strike squad of 5 to 10 models. You can include up to 1 of each of the following units, an interceptor squad of 5 to 10 models, the Purifier squad, only 5 models in that one, and you can include up to 1 of the following units, a Brotherhood Terminator squad, a 5-man Brotherhood Terminator squad, or a 5-man Paladin squad. And the Void Purge Force does have some rules changes. The Brotherhood Librarian model loses the Vortex of Doom ability, Grandmaster Voldus loses the Hammer of Flame, Interceptor Squad loses the Personal Teleporters, Caldor Drago loses 1 with the Warp, and the Strike Squad loses the Sanctifying Ritual, which was, I do believe, sticky objective. The 2 detachment specific enhancements, Sigil of Warding. Once per battle at the end of the shooting phase, the bearer can use this enhancement. If it does, it can make a normal move up to 3 inches and can attempt to operate a hatchway. The bearer is not eligible to declare a charge this turn. Tactical Haruspexy. Once per battle, when the bearer declares a charge, it can use this enhancement. If it does, it can select units that are not visible to it as targets of that charge, provided they are within 9 inches of it. Now let's go through the 4 Void Purge Force specific stratagems for boarding actions. The first one is Breach Shock for 1 CP in the fight phase. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a pylon or consolidation move, it can move up to 6 inches instead of 3. Next up is Hexbane Wards for 1 CP in the fight phase. Just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models in that enemy unit have the hazardous ability. So with that one, you can end up making the enemy kill themselves with hazardous weapons. Translocation. In your movement phase, 1 Inceptor Squad or Grey Knights character unit from your army that has not been selected to move this phase. The next time your unit is selected to move this phase, models in that unit can move through walls and close hatchways as if they were not there. But when doing so, no model can move more than 6 inches. There's a restriction with this one, and you can only use this stratagem once. Finally, we have Sanctified Slaughter for 1 CP. In your fight phase, 1 Grey Knights unit from your army that has charged this turn. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models in your unit have the Sustained 1 ability. If such weapon already has that ability, until the end of the phase, each time an attack is made with that weapon, a successful unmodified hit roll of 5 scores a critical hit. Here is the example list I've made for the Void Purge Force. It comes to 500 points. Our Warlord is Brother Captain Stern, and he still has the Strands of Fate ability, so he can stand up for 2+ and keep on fighting, so that will make a difference in a small 500 points list. Another character we have is the Brotherhood Champion with the Close Quarters Killer enhancement for reroll the wound roll. For our battle line, we have a 5-man unit of Terminators. You can still have the res and the banner, it seems, with the boarding actions. Then we have a 5-man strike squad unit with the side cannon. And this list comes to 500 points exactly. I think it should do pretty good on the table. On to the second Grey Knights detachment for the boarding actions, Baneslayer Strike. The detachment rule is preemptive strike. In the reinforcement step of your first movement phase, you can set up on the battlefield one Grey Knights reserve unit from your army using the deep strike ability. When doing so, you can set up that unit anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 6 inches horizontally away from all enemy models. To the end of the phase, that unit is not eligible to declare a charge. And like the Void Purge Force, there is a list of allowed units for the Baneslayer Strike. You can include up to 2 of the following units. Once again, duplicates are not allowed. Brother Captain Stern, a Brotherhood Chaplain, Librarian, Grandmaster Voldus, or Caldor Drago. You can include up to 2 of each of the following units: a Brotherhood Terminator Squad, 5 to 10 models, a Paladin Squad, 5 to 10. And that is it. It's a pretty small list. On to the rule changes. The Brotherhood Librarian, once again, cannot use the Vortex of Doom ability. Grandmaster Voldus loses the Hammer of Flame ability, and then Caldor Drago loses the one with the Warp ability. The 2 detachment-specific enhancements for Baneslayer Strike: Shield of Admonishment. Each time a melee attack targets the bearer, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Then we have Close and Sanction. In your opponent's shooting phase, each time an enemy unit is selected to shoot, after that unit has shot, if the bearer was hit by 1 or more of those attacks, the bearer can make a dash move. To do so, roll 1d6. The bearer can be moved a distance in inches up to the result, but it must finish that move as close as possible to the closest visible enemy unit. When doing so, it can be moved within engagement range of that enemy unit. The bearer can only make 1 dash move per phase. Now on to the 4 Baneslayer Strike specific stratagems. The first one is Armored Aegis for 1 CP. Your opponent's shooting or the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. 1 Grey Knight's character model from your army. Until the end of the phase, that model has a 4+ Feel No Pain ability. Cybolt Ammunition for 1 CP. Your shooting phase, 1 Grey Knight's unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, improve the AP of Stormbolters equipped by models in your unit by 1. Then we have Relentless Borders for 1 CP in your charge phase. Until the end of the phase, your unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. And then finally, Sanctic Circle for 2 CP in your command phase, 1 Grey Knights or Paladin Squad unit from your army. Select 1 objective marker within 9 inches and visible to your unit. If that objective marker does not have any enemy models within range of it, your unit must take a leadership test, subtracting 1 from the result if that objective marker is secured by your opponent's army. If that test is passed, that objective marker is no longer considered secured by your opponent's army and is instead secured by your army. And that is a neat stratagem. It seems like it is a ranged, sticky objective of 9 inches. Kind of neat. And that is the end of the stratagems for the Baneslayer Strike. And here is the example list for the Baneslayer Strike. It comes to 495 points. Our Warlord is a Brotherhood Chaplain with the Close Quarters Killer for the reroll the wound roll. Then for our battle line, we have 2 units of 5 Brotherhood Terminators. It's a pretty simple list, but there's not a lot of list building with this detachment. It's pretty much what character do you want to bring. Next, we'll go over all the core enhancements that you could choose from when picking a list, and enhancements cost 0 points in boarding actions. First up, we have Trademark Weapon. When you select this enhancement, select 1 ranged weapon equipped by the bearer, excluding torrent weapons, and make a note of this on your army roster. Add 1 to the strength and damage characteristic of that weapon. Then there's Superior Boarding Tactics. You start the battle with 2 CP. Close Quarters Killer. Each time the bearer makes a melee attack, you can re-roll the wound roll. Then we have Expert Breacher. The bearer's unit can attempt to operate a hatchway at the start or end of the move step of your movement phase. The bearer's unit cannot attempt to operate more than 1 hatchway per turn though. Then there is Peerless Leader. Once per battle, the bearer can be targeted with the battlefield command stratagem for 0 CP, even if you have already targeted a different unit with that stratagem this phase. Then finally, we have Personal Teleporter, and that just gives the bearer the Deep Strike ability. Final thoughts. These two detachments do not leave a lot of room for list building, but they do feel different from each other. I am looking forward to trying these detachments out on the board. I will finish the last Custodes detachment, then I will do the Astra Militarum detachments next. Throw in the comments what you would like to see next. Subscribe for weekly battle reports and other Warhammer 40k content. Thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by.